Here with Iowa Heartlanders defenseman Andrew McLean. It's the Heartlanders taking on the Fort Wayne Comets in Game 5 of the Central Division semifinals, series tied 2-2. And Andrew, huge win last game for the Heartlanders out Iowa to tie the series. Let's start with this. Where were you when the double overtime winner happened?
I was on the bench, and I saw it happen, and I saw Z step up, and it was a great shot. And once that scored, everybody started celebrating. And my first thought, obviously, is to celebrate with him, but I sprinted right to Roos and congratulated him because he kept us in it, and he's pretty much a big reason besides the fact that Z got that goal that we won.
Yeah, Heartlanders got 32 saves out of Will Rousseau. Team was up 2-0. Obviously, Fort Wayne got some power play chances, and it's been kind of a power play goal style series. They have 7. Heartlanders have 6 power play goals through 4 games. But what was the feeling like on the bench? You get to overtime and trying to avoid the repeat of what had just happened the night before.
It was good. I mean, we got back in the locker room, going into OT, and we just said, hey, everybody, we all believe that we'll win, and that we're ready to go, and nobody step on the ice unless we believe we're going to win. And we went out there, we had a great OT period, we had a couple chances, and we came back, and we just told each other, hey, boys, we're not going to lose this game, we're going to win, we're going to tie up the series, and we're going to keep going. And everybody just believed, and we all dug deep and won.
So I'm always curious of this because there's always stories of teams ordering pizzas, teams, going through all the bananas, all the bagels, all that stuff. So what kind of fuel did you put in your body between both overtime intermissions?
It was just water and electrolytes, honestly. But there was a couple guys that were, they had their, boosts. Some of them had half a bagel or something like that. But besides that, just for me, it was just water and electrolytes, just keep the body going.
You're a better man than me. I had half a peanut butter sandwich and 2 handfuls of M&Ms, so not healthy at all, but that's all right. Again, here with Andrew McLean, Game 5 of the Central Division semifinals. For you, coming in as a veteran in this series, we talked to a few of the vets on some of these interviews. With a young group like this, how important is your voice in this room as a guy that's been in the playoffs before?
Extremely important. Obviously, we have a couple of guys in the room that have been there before too and are leaders, but it's just – it's when things happen or things go south, if they get a power play goal, you need a couple voices of reason, hey boys, it's okay, now it's a tie game, back to zeros, let's go. Just having a good voice and making sure everybody's upbeat and positive. And everybody makes mistakes, everybody will have a bad shift here and there, but as long as you lift up your teammates, then you keep that flow going all game, and you can tell it builds off each other, and ultimately it helps us win.
There's a term that Chris Peters, our color commentator, when we're at home on MC22, he used this phrase during Game 3, which is that, getting on the forecheck, being physical. He used the phrase pulverizing the beef, that over the course of a 7-game series, that constant sort of beating of the drum over and over, any human being would get sick of it. So how do you feel the Heartlanders have done with that pulverizing the beef there through the first 4 games of the series?
I think extremely well. You can see as the series progresses, they're starting to get a little bit more nervous going into corners, which gets turnovers a lot for us, which helps us stay offensively, cycling the puck and things like that. But just being physical really helps a lot because, coming from a D's perspective, when you go back for the puck, you really don't want to get hit. But when our forwards keep going and they're just keep hitting and they're relentless on the puck, it's nice to see because we win the battles all the time.
For you as well, a lot of games and not a big span of days. This is 5 and 7 or 5 and 8 or whatever it is at this point. So how have you stayed fresh yourself with the recovery and the rest to make sure that you're good to go throughout the series?
It's just finding the right rhythm. Honestly, it's just a lot of fluids, a lot of waters, electrolytes. Make sure you're eating just because you don't realize how many calories you're actually burning. Just making sure you're getting your rest. You know what I mean? A lot for me is I just kind of to rest throughout the day, and then my big thing though is to get my legs moving. I walk my dog probably 5-6 times a day at least, and that keeps me going, but it keeps me also grounded. Hey, you know what, you're sitting there all day resting, getting ready, but also at the same time you're getting your legs moving and also staying a little bit loose. So it's just everybody's got a different routine, and it's just one of those things that you just got to learn.
What's the feel in the room on a day like today?
Oh, it's incredible. Everybody came in. We're all excited to be here. We're ready to go for tonight's game. Everybody's still kind of fired up from the last game, and it's good. That's what you want in a playoff series. You want to be able to carry that over, and you want to be able to just build off that positivity. And it's just the difference between regular season and playoffs is massive, but already with how we're carrying ourselves and coming in, it's even more it's like even higher than it was during regular season. I didn't even think that was possible. So it's nice to see that, and it's nice to be able to be excited about it, you know.
I know where there's been a lot of excitement in the community. And Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, you know, it's obviously not a Friday, Saturday, or a Sunday kind of people are, you know, got to go to work and stuff like that. But how have you felt? Because it seemed pretty loud in here, even though it's been some midweek games.
Yeah, I mean, I think the energy in this rink has been fantastic. I mean, the fans, it makes it sound like there's like 8,000 here. Like everybody's bought in. And it's nice to see because you go on the ice and you're ready to play. And when the fans are also bought in and they're cheering for you and they never give up on you, it's just like if you're down and you're in the corner or whatever, like, you know, like you barely have any energy, you hear them cheering, you're like, okay, I got to get this puck now. Like, it's just the fans help out so much for us, and it's, you know, it's incredible, especially during these midweek games where everybody's got, you know, if they have kids, they're busy or whatnot, or their jobs, and they still come support us. It's just massive for us.
Cleaner, thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Again, that was Andrew McLean. We'll be right back. Continue our intermission report after this.